Good morning, everyone. Today is an emotional day for me because I'm gonna give you the secret. I know talked about secrets and what's like the end all be all. I know everyone's looking for a book, but I can't give you a book. But I bought this box. Inside the box contains my whole life. The reason why I'm emotional is because I spent my whole childhood, I wouldn't say childhood, I'd say my teen years, studying the hell what's inside this box. I was gonna open it, but I don't know. I'm looking at this box and it's been on my desk for like a week, and I don't know how to feel because I spent so many years on this thing. So I'm gonna reveal it to you guys and show you the secret, and I'm gonna show you guys how to get better at drawing, just in general. This, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be quiet. So I'll tell you the story. I had a lot of questions about drawing, and I saw a lot of books that did stuff like this. All these things. And I asked this guy, a really good artist. He was a comic book artist. And I asked him, "How do you draw? Like, how do you know how to draw the lumps and bumps on the face?" He did a drawing for me, but this is what he did pretty much. Give me a second. So, in the drawing, he did this. It says first you get a skull, and then you put a blanket of skin over it, put some eyeballs, and you got a person. And for me, this just solidified exactly what it is I gotta do the rest of my life. But now the quest is, how do I get a skull? So I had a science class in high school, and I would stay after school every day for hours until the teacher was done for his day. I wouldn't be leaving that school until like 7 o'clock, so I can draw from this. I did that for years. So I didn't have much of a high school experience like some people did. I spent my time in my biology class because I couldn't afford this. This was too much money. Eventually I'd get a job, and I was on a quest to look for a skull, and they were all like at $200, $400. And I went to Pasadena Art Center, the school, because my friend went to Pasadena Art Center, and they had a sale on these skulls for $60. So I got like a big, massive one. And here, I'm at envy of all of everyone here. Like at today, like I got this for, I think it's like $11. You guys can learn how to draw well for $11. You know what I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna do it for the people watching and supporting me. I'm gonna put a blanket of skin over him so we can take a look at it. This is called Sculpey. I've always wanted to do this. Now let's put a nose on there, huh? Look at that. It's right on the skull. It fits right in. It's a weird, satisfying feeling. Look at that. Eyes. Imagine this is a person. And then you put 2 eyeballs here. I'm doing a shitty job, but I hope you guys understand the benefits. Look at that. And then you put some eyelids on it. Right on the orbital socket, see? Isn't it crazy? But it's all here. These are the answers. And I remember I actually sculpted the skull. That's a good exercise to do too. But I remember watching this documentary on the blind. And I guess it was this grandson spending his summer vacation with his grandmother. And grandmother was sculpting the father. And his question was, how is my grandfather can see that because he's blind? Well, the way I guess blind people see is they touch your face like this. And so the grandpa does that to the sculpture and he goes, wow, that looks like me. And then his grandson, I think he was like 8, closed his eyes, did the same thing. He goes, it does look like you. That always stayed with me because I was wondering, like, I don't have a 3-dimensional imagination. I have a flat one. In fact, there's nothing in my head, to be honest with you. I have thoughts and imaginations, but they're not like, they're very vivid. I mean, like, I think my imagination is like everybody's, but I don't have a photographic memory. I mean, I can't read the words that are in a magazine or anything like that. But through time, I've learned to exercise my brain to get a better memory of people through my impression. But I did spend some time doing stuff like this. Closing my eyes. And then learning to see with my fingers, just like the blind. And what I got from this was context when I draw, because right now my brain depends on my eyes to see, so now it's depending on my fingers to see. And when I draw, sometimes I feel like I'm sculpting and I'm touching clay, and I can feel the weight of the clay. And what I'm doing too is I'm learning to map a 3D image of the skull in my head by closing my eyes. I know it's an unusual method to learn to draw, but that's what I did to learn. Okay, so, and this is how you draw from it. You just draw, you just start. It doesn't, I had no teacher teaching me. I couldn't afford any of them. They were all like a ton of money. But I had my eyes, I had my fingers, and I just drew. And I just drew wherever I could, right? I just observed. So I'm looking at his eye socket right there. And I noticed this little thing here. And I made up my own measurements. You see that right there? It's in line with this. But then when you go to the side, you see how it's off in an angle like that. It's things like that. So like that right there is here, but when it comes forward, it just becomes like this straight line. You can't really see it. just things to keep a note of. So I made a ton of notes in that nature. I did stuff like this, just like things that stood out to me. And then this is for me, you know. I don't want to be dishonest and be really flashy with my drawing. I'm just, you know, I'm observing at the moment. So you see that top there. And I noticed that this is this big, huge case right there. It's like this big thing, right? Our face actually covers like a little bit of this. And that's how I do it. That's it. And this actually opened doors for me to learn to draw caricatures, learn to draw well. I was able to see people's facial features a little bit better in context. I was able to like have X-ray vision to an extent. And you get to pull off these cool angles, right? So this is how Michelangelo did it. This is how Leonardo did it. And it worked out for them. This can work out for you. All you need is this little skull, $11 in Amazon. Sculpey. It's not that much either. You could just buy a little pack. It's called Super Sculpey. And then, you know, you smash it, put a layer of skin on it, sculpt, put a nose in there, learn some context, close your eyes, map this out in your brain. So from this point on, every time I do a drawing, I'll have my little skull right here on the side, just to remind me of the foundation. All right. I thought I'd share my whole life with you. This is it. The grand secret. In my opinion, this is what they don't show you in art school, because art school likes to flood you with crap like this and like gesture drawing like this, like feel it out and all this crap. And in the end, you just spend your money on a ton of sessions with the teacher who can draw well, and you're sitting there scribbling forever until eventually you, in a couple years, you get to draw like, you know, legit. Makes absolutely no sense. To me, it's all about understanding. You understand construction. Give yourself reasons why things are the way they are. Try to understand the skull in your own way, and you'll see that the drawing will come, and it'll come real quick. It worked out for me. It's very different from whatever everyone else teaches. But Michelangelo, when he was learning from cadavers, he didn't have a master holding his hand telling him how to look at things. He just drew it. I assume Leonardo did the same. These guys just drew it and started seeing, oh, look at that. That's where the eyeballs sit. Crazy. Oh, look at the cheekbone. Like, look how much. Look at that. That's crazy. What in the world is this thing, you know? And you get to look at the grooves and then open up an anatomy book and see like where the muscles and tendons are attached and why. this level of education you can spend a good amount of time on. I spent years collecting anatomy books, but now you guys can get it free on the internet. And I would say max 6 months just learning this stuff, drawing it obsessively. Pictures are no good, just buy the skull. It's the best thing. And if you can, sculpt from it. Close your eyes, map it out in your head, and then you're good. And that's it. This is the secret. I think it's always been there. The answers have always been there. Well, I mean, Michelangelo, it's in his autobiography, it's in Leonardo's, but I don't think people make a big deal. Like, every art teacher should give a skull to a student and say, draw from it and give me 2 weeks worth of notes that you've accumulated, and let's all review it together. Because in the end, it's all coming from the same place. This is the origin. That's it. It's how we interpret it. And that's what makes us all unique. All right. I'm not 15 anymore. I'm in my 40s, and it's weird pulling this out and then showing you guys, because this is for it feels weird sharing information that took me years to accumulate, and I'm gonna share it in like a couple minutes with you guys on a YouTube video. Well, I hope someone found my information helpful, and here's to possibly 15 years of knowledge in a YouTube video, like 20 minutes. Hope you guys all enjoy. Thank you. Like and subscribe.